Hello, sisters, and welcome. My name is Catalina Rivera, Dois, and I'm going to be continuing today in today's video this conversation around the lunar cycle and our feminine cycle. So another common question around this is around archetypes and goddesses. When you start really diving into feminine spirituality, especially Googling and on the net, you will find that a lot of, women and a lot of different kind of lineages will equivalate certain, aspects of the moon and specifically certain phases of our feminine cycle to specific archetypes, okay? And my invitation to you is actually to let those go, okay? This is another aspect where mind maps can be tremendously helpful, but what I have been receiving very, very clearly over these couple of years, I've been diving into the blood mysteries and into our cycles and into feminine spirituality, is that we are being asked to come within. Our most common response is to go out there for information and kind of superimpose it on ourselves, just like this myth of the right time to bleed. We hear it, we grab it, and we try to kind of fit ourselves in that box. And if you look at the whole archetype model or goddess model, it's the same thing. There are different women from different lineage that have tried to kind of fit something into a box. I'm not saying that's not useful and there's no truth there, right? But that's our biggest danger as women, is to continue to try to subscribe to things that are out here and forgetting to listen within. Okay? So before going out there to look at other women's, lensings on archetypes and energies, and this even goes to what I've been sharing this week in the videos. Like I usually share generalized energetics, but ultimately, I'm asking you to feel in your body to what's true, because that's the only thing that's actually going to be helpful to you or useful to you. And this is the barrier which we're at. So many of us long for this deeper connection, this knowing, but our mind gets in the way. We want it to look a certain way, to feel a certain way, or we're afraid we won't really hear anything. So we kind of try to make this idea true. So when it comes to goddesses and archetypes and that connection to the lunar phase and our feminine cycles, my answer is, sister, let all that go and go within. The first step, as I mentioned in the previous video, is really connecting to your own cycle. Can you, first of all, really feel into what each phase feels like in your body? What are the physical changes? What are the emotional changes? What are the energetics that you feel in your own body in each one of those phases? Before trying to superimpose an archetype onto that, after you're clear, right? After you're clear on what each phase looks like, what each phase means to you, what's true for you, then you can go outside and look at what resonates. Because yes, all that information and archetypes can be tremendously helpful, can help stir memories and awaken aspects that we haven't seen. But going in blindly, our mind, what it tries to do, and I know this from personal experience, is it tries to just kind of grab that idea and kind of superimpose it and make it true. We kind of force it to be true. Right? Because we don't trust our inner knowing. We don't trust that we'll actually receive an answer, that we can actually harness our inner wisdom and get those answers from within. But the only way of actually getting those answers, really forging that connection, is creating the space to go within. And sometimes that means starving ourselves of external information and just creating the space to really feel. Okay, so it might not be the answer you've been waiting for, because it's always easier when someone tells you, oh, this is the right thing, or this is the answer. But ultimately, that's just mind food. And there's plenty of that in the world, right? The only way to true transformation, true knowing, is through your own body temple. So, sister, inviting you into that. And I'd love to hear your experience. For those of you that have experience, that are already connecting deeply into your moon cycle and your feminine cycle, for those of you that are already working with goddesses and archetypes, what is true for you? What are the resonances you feel in your own body? I'd love to hear. Let's explore it together. But mostly I want to invite you to tap in, yeah, and to release this idea that there's the one truth around, again, this idea that there's one archetype or one goddess that is the right one for each phase, because that's just a trap, honey, and it's not going to be helpful ultimately. So here is to empowering your inner knowing, even though it's not necessarily what you want to hear. All my love, many blessings, and happy moon times.